Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking you along on a full adventure through one of the most historic and culturally rich cities in the US, Philadelphia. This itinerary is perfect if you only have one day to explore but still want to experience the heart, grit and soul of this iconic city. Let's begin. We started the day walking from Brewery town, where we stayed overnight. It's a district that, true to its name, once pulsed with over 20 breweries at its peak in the 19th century. This neighborhood was home to German-American immigrants who brought beer, making traditions with them, turning Philadelphia into one of the top beer producers in the country. Stay tuned for a great local brewery recommendation later in the video. In the morning, we only grabbed coffee and muffins in a local cafe and started our adventure. From there, we made our way toward the Philadelphia Museum of Art, passing by a lovely waterfront park. You know that moment when a place you've only seen in films becomes real? That was this. 72 steps. That's what separates you from one of the most iconic cinematic shots in the world, and yes, we ran them, not gracefully at all, but we did it. And here is a cool bit of trivia. When Sylvester Stallone filmed that iconic scene for Rocky, he did it with almost no budget. The original Rocky movie was made for under $1 million, and Stallone had written the script himself just in a few days. That scene, with him running up these very steep stairs, was filmed guerrilla style using a shaky Steadicam but would later become famous for that very reason. What started as a scrappy underdog project became a story that people around the world still connect to, right here on the steps. If you have more time, I strongly encourage you to explore the art museum itself. Just few steps from the art museum, you will see this huge whimsical sculpture of animals stacked on top of one another. A goat, a deer, a bear, all looking like they've climbed into the sky. It's called Iroquois by Mark Di Suvero, and it's such a playful contrast to the seriousness of the museum behind it. That's something I loved about Philly, how even its art in public spaces surprises you. From there, you will see Benjamin Franklin Parkway, which is Philly's cultural spine. It was designed in 1917 by French and American architects, and it was inspired by boulevards of Paris. A few blocks down, we reach the Rodin Museum. Even if you don't go inside, it's worth pausing for. Out front stands the Thinker, Rodin's famous sculpture deep in contemplation. We didn't go into any museums this time. My mom was with me, and since she doesn't speak English, we didn't plan on visiting any museums. But next time, this stretch is going to be its own day. Because just along this parkway, you will find the Burns Foundation, home to one of the greatest collections of Renoir and Matisse in the world. The Franklin Institute, perfect for science lovers, the Academy of Natural Sciences if you want to meet a dinosaur or two, and even the Museum of African American History. We continued on foot to Love Park, named after Robert Indiana's iconic love sculpture. It's more than just a photo op, it's a symbol that's grown beyond the art world. In the 1970s, when Philadelphia was trying to rebrand itself as a more welcoming, progressive city, the simple four-letter sculpture was installed right here, and the city kind of fell in love with itself again. Next up, Reading Terminal Market. Open since 1893, this place is one of the oldest and largest public markets in America. And honestly, it's sensory overload in the best way possible. It's a great place to grab a lunch or a little bite. From the market we moved into a part of a city where history doesn't just live, it breathes. First, the Liberty Bell, famously cracked, beautifully imperfect. Most people don't realize the bell actually cracked not only once but twice. The first crack likely happened in the early 1840s. After an attempt to repair it, a second crack rendered it unringable. But instead of hiding it away, Philadelphia turned it into national treasure, a symbol of freedom and resilience, imperfections and all. Just across the street stands Independence Hall, where the founding fathers debated freedom. If you have more time, you can visit Independence Museum or just go into visitor centers like we did. You can grab some maps, use a restroom, or get a cute George Washington rubber duck. Not far from there, we followed a cobblestone path to a street where Benjamin Franklin once lived. His original house is gone, but the Franklin Court features a steel frame outline where it once stood. Underground, you will find a fascinating museum with Franklin's inventions, letters, and printing equipment. Franklin wasn't just a founding father, he was a scientist, a writer, a diplomat, and a man full of contradictions. He founded America's first public library, first fire department, and first insurance company. Okay, let's talk food, because you cannot come to Philly and skip a cheesesteak. We went to Sonny's famous steaks in Old City, just few steps from Franklin's house. What makes it great? Fresh ribeye, proper amorosa rolls, and the option to go with cheese whiz. It's really delicious and there's a reason it's iconic. The history of a cheesesteak goes back to the 1930s when Pat Olivieri, a hot dog vendor, decided to grill some beef and onions instead. A cab driver passed by, asked for one, and the rest is Philly's food legend. A few blocks away is Betsy Ross' house, where, legend says, the first American flag was sewn. Whether that story is 100% fact or not, the house is a beautiful portal into the past, complete with colonial-era furnishings and guides in the costumes. From there, we wandered to Elfreth's Alley, the oldest continuously inhabited residential street in the US since 1703. These homes were originally built by craftsmen, tradespeople, and immigrants. They are small, tightly packed, and filled with stories. It's hard to overstate the feeling here. If you walk down these tiny cobbled streets, you feel like a time traveler. Definitely a great photo spot and one of my favorite places in Philly. Then, we made our way toward the Delaware River waterfront to walk along Cherry Street Pier. It's an art space, a public hangout, and a seasonal marketplace all in one. In springtime, things were quieter. Many spots were closed for the season, but even in stillness, there's kind of beauty here. You can sit by the water, stare up at the enormous Benjamin Franklin Bridge, and just breathe. Summer will bring music, food, and festivals back, but in the meantime, the space reminded me of something important. Even places waiting to bloom still have value. After the waterfront, we slowly made our way back through the city, just kind of wandering. No real plan, no route, just letting the streets lead us wherever they wanted. And honestly, it was a great way to explore Philly. Because here, you can walk with no map and still stumble across something cool every couple of blocks. 1 second you are passing someone's front stoop, and the next, you are standing in front of a building that played a key role in the American Revolution. It's that kind of city. History is everywhere, even when you are not looking for it. We pass old churches, crumbling signs painted on bricks, plaques on walls that tell you, hey, this is where the first Bank of the United States stood. Or this is where the first printing press in the 1700s was. Pretty wild. Eventually, we found ourselves near an old Irish pub and figured why not to stop for a beer. After all that walking, it felt so good to sit for a moment and just soak it all in. But the day wasn't done yet. Just a short walk away is one of Philly's most famous and eerie landmarks, Eastern State Penitentiary. Now, this place is intense. It was one of the most advanced prisons in the world when it was opened in 1829, and its design actually inspired hundreds of prisons globally. It's really impactful to see conditions of how people lived there. This exhibition was really pulling all the strings in your heart. Really remarkable. Did you know that Al Capone served time at Eastern State? Yeah, the Al Capone, and weirdly, his cell was kind of fancy. Rack, lamp, furniture, totally different from the rest. It's a reminder of how wealth and power follow people even behind the bars. The real weight of this place comes from what it's now trying to show. A big part of the current exhibit focuses on the mass incarceration in the US, especially the racial disparities. The numbers are hard to hear, but it's so important to understand. 1 in 4 people incarcerated in the world is in the US, and people of color are disproportionately affected. The museum doesn't shy away from that. It invites you to really think about how we got here and what needs to change. It's not just a creepy prison, it's a place that makes you think. We ended the day at a local brewery in Brewery town called Crime and Punishment. It's this small, independent spot with great beer, good vibes, and it felt like the perfect way to close out the day. And by the end of that beer, it felt like we had really seen Philly. We covered a lot, and yet there's still so much more I would come back for. If you've never been, I would say come with good shoes, a curious mind, and a little flexibility. Let yourself wander. The city will show you things, even if you're not looking. And if you're stuck around for this far, thank you so much for watching. Next up, we are heading somewhere warmer, way warmer, swapping out cobblestones for wetlands and history for wildlife. We are off to Everglades National Park in Florida. Think alligators, airboats, and endless stretches of sky. Can't wait to show you around.